Welcome to another episode of Entrepreneurs at Fuego. We're documenting the journey of incredible entrepreneurs. My new best friend, Muhammed Bojang.
Thank you.
As in Bojangles.
In Bojangles.
In Bojangles.
And I have no idea what Bojangles actually means. I plan to Google it at some point.
Bojang, well, I can tell you the story, but it will be really long. Don't, right, Taylor? I do know these answers.
Yeah.
Vehicle ADZ.
Yes.
Tell us a little bit about that company that you have.
So vehicle advertising, our main goal is to reach audiences,
all right,
but also allow those audiences to benefit from the advertising dollars that have been spent to reach them.
Okay, and how do you do that? How do you achieve that?
So two parts. One,
all
we
right,
have to have individuals sign up with us.
All right.
And
individuals that have a vehicle.
Yes.
All right.
And any vehicle will do, as long as the vehicle is running and it has registration and insurance, of course. The
that's
legal side
easy enough.
Has to be covered. But once you sign up, then we match you with potential advertisers that are actually looking at reaching you. So
okay,
it could be by demographic, it could be by location, and it also could be by profession. So it just depends on the advertiser who they are trying to reach.
My vehicle then becomes a running billboard for the company who is paying for me to drive my car with their advertisement
on the back of your car.
Wrapped on the back of the car.
Yes.
Can they wrap the whole thing?
So we try to discourage that, just because we're dealing with everyday people, and what we don't want to do is turn their vehicles into some wrapped car that's running all over the place. So we target just the back windshield of the car, because that's where you get the most exposure anyway.
Oh, that's right.
So why would we wrap your whole car, defacing it, and then it becomes, you don't want to take it to certain places. So we keep the vehicle.
And it's probably too expensive as well.
It is very expensive for the advertiser. The average vehicle, if we wrap the whole thing, would cost you between $2,500 to about $3,000.
Aye, aye, aye.
So we cut the cost down to about $119 to do the advertisement on the car.
So it's $119, and you have a running billboard.
Yes.
That's pretty darn good. I mean, that's very good. So, and you're right, because most of the advertisement that we would read would be
on the back windshield.
In the back windshield, right?
So while you're stopped at the stoplight or you're parked at the parking lot, now buses are unique in a sense. They're always on the road, so you're going to see the side because they're parked.
Right.
But for personal vehicles, it is the back side of the vehicle that's the most views you're going to be getting if you wrap the vehicle or you place an advertisement on.
I get your model. Now, is your model just limited to that type of exposure or advertisement, or do you have some other verticals that you use in your business?
So that's the primary.
Okay.
And we like to stick with that just because we know that's where you get the most bang for your buck.
How many vehicles do you have, by the way, running around?
Currently, we have about 700 cars on the road.
And do you put Bojangles right there?
No.
Courtesy of Bojangles or something?
Not a bad idea.
Right. So you've got about 700,
yes.
But that's a great number right there.
Thank you. Our goal is not to brand ourselves. It is about the advertiser.
Sure.
And what we do is, once we place the ad on, we want that vehicle to be part of that family. Because we're trying to emulate word of mouth advertising, but you can't talk, so it's more display advertising. So when an individual has an ad on their car, they're pretty much part of that brand because it's a form of endorsement.
With any type of advertisement nowadays, everybody wants to know their ROI, right? I mean, it's just, if I hear that one more time, all right. But is there a way to measure the effectiveness of your campaigns?
Yes.
Per car. So I'm an advertiser. I'm going to ask that dumbass question because what's my ROI and everything?
Yes.
What is your answer?
So our medium is unique in itself, and our goal there is branding, exposure, and getting your business out there, localization, because people need to know who you are and what you do. And having people endorse you is the ultimate gift for a business from a local perspective.
Sure.
So as far as ROI is concerned, you can measure it in two ways. We can put a number there to track how many calls you're getting back, but that is solely on the business to figure out how many returns are they getting.
All right, so you can get an 800 number or something where you can
provide,
track and measure the calls that are...
We provide that to you for free, and you have the number in there, you have the tracking capabilities. But our main goal here is exposure, is how many miles are you getting? How many exposures are we generating? How many impressions are we generating for you?
All right.
And we've calculated that the average vehicle will generate about 200,000 impressions for you a week. So
200,000 impressions per week.
Yes.
And okay, explain that to me. You kind of lost me a little bit. So I have my ad in the back of somebody's car.
Yes.
And that's going to generate 200,000 impressions. Impressions of what? I mean, it sounds
impressions,
like I'm sorry,
meaning I'm just views and
views
exposures
hits
on the
to
road.
my site, because in the back of the car is going to have my website, I guess, presumably.
So it depends on the message you want to expose there. So
Right.
if you want to drive traffic to your site, that's different. So now we're going to be measuring on the back end how many direct traffic are you getting from what area, because we can localize the car finitely. Like we can go in a zip code and say, okay, we're just targeting this particular zip code, and then figure out how many how many clicks are coming from that zip code or direct traffic's coming from that zip code. Now, when we talk about impressions, we are talking about outdoor impressions.
Okay.
We calculated based on studies done by Arbitron, Seattle Bureau of Transportation. So we looked at the average metropolitan area, how many impression is generated with outdoor billboards, transit vehicles, and taxi ads.
And you know, I am the kind of individual that, I get all the figures, all the ROIs, and you can give me all the statistics in the world.
Right.
People ask me, well, how many people watch your show on TV? How many people watch your radio? I'm like, none. Okay, forget it. Nobody watches. The power of it is something else, somewhere else. And I think that the power for what you're doing is in the fact that you have this localized system that people are inevitably going to stop right behind your advertising vehicle and is going to see that particular ad.
Exactly.
They're going to see it. It's just how do you measure that exposure? So I think
that exposure,
fantastic.
it's very hard to go finite with that, just because I don't think technology has caught up with us to that level where we can see every time somebody looks at it.
Or maybe there is, but it's probably not so commercialized or applied in that sense.
I know there's a couple of billboards that are trying that technology out there, and it's not all over. So we're basing most of our statistics on studies that have been done with billboards, with taxi ads, with bus transit ads.
How do you get into this business? I mean, why not an engineering student? Why not a doctor? Here you are with a very, very unique localized product that is generating a ton of results.
Yes. Initially, well, in the beginning, my passion is high jump.
High jump?
Yes.
High jump as in the Olympics high jump?
Oh, okay. As you can tell.
What are you talking? Old is me, dude. Come on,
I figured I have to do something where I will be by the desk or out there doing something. But joking aside, I love marketing, and my goal is always looking at doing something more efficiently and more effectively.
All right.
How can I reach somebody in the most basic forms and not intruding at the same time? This is the reason why we came up with this concept, figuring out, okay, we are always trying to advertise to somebody.
Yep.
Why can we incorporate that person in the advertisement process? Let them make the decision, take the ads that they want to be exposed to them, which Google is already doing, of course. But we're trying to do that on the outdoor space.
Sure.
And that's where this idea came from. We figured, okay, let's get people to advertise for companies.
People still drive cars.
Yes.
I don't care if they are automatic or electric or gas or without drivers or what. People will still drive cars.
Of course.
And there you are. Your ads are in the back of the cars.
Yes. Thank you.
It
was a pleasure being here.
You set the bar for high jump very high, my friend, and I really love that. I mean, this is really cool idea, and naturally, it has to be working. You've got 700 plus cars out there.
Yes.
So something has to be working.
Yes, we're doing very well as far as advertising is concerned.
Right.
We're still very new because the concept has not been out there. I mean, we've used it commercially, but we've not incorporated the general public into it. So that's a challenge in itself.
It is because we're focusing everything on pay-per-clicks and things that are in the internet, and we're not focusing on the things that we can visually integrate in our daily, just the back, the windshield of a car. I mean, that's so, wow, what a great idea. Dude, it's been there for the longest time. It's just now you're taking advantage of it.
There may have been a couple of people that have tried it before, maybe not at an agency level, but through my research, I've seen a couple of schools that have empowered their students to do the advertisements for them. Instead of spending ad dollars somewhere else, they wrap the students' cars one way or the other, and then the students went ahead and did the advertisement for them.
What's the most popular advertisement out there?
In terms of
in the back, what's in the back of a car that is most popular?
Well, right now we have a couple of ads running for a couple of lawyers that are out there. I don't like playing favorites, so
that's okay.
So I would say lawyer ads are the most popular that we have.
I was going to say lawyers was going to come in second. My first guess would have been strip clubs.
Oh,
but that's just me.
A close second.
A close
second.
And with that, we're out.